So like 9 million years ago, somebody actually asked me like, "Hey Max, I see you wear that sweater thing, that black one with the one white stripe. What the hell is it?" It's actually a skull. It's an electric zombie sweater thing. Go look them up. It's a pretty cool brand. Anyhow, hello there, Riley. Welcome back to Max Answers Writing Advice Questions. Today I have a very special question for you, a question that I've been getting ever since the beginning of time, as a matter of fact, and I've answered it. I've probably answered this question like 30 times probably, like an entire course of like the 4 years that I've been running the blog. And I thought, you know what, it's about time that I finally answered it. And that question is, how do you find writing buddies online and offline? Now, of course, as always, before I dive into today's actual answer, allow me to tell you that the following is merely just my advice, my opinion, what worked for me. It's not gospel. I'm not selling this as the one and only way. I'm just going to be talking about my experience. Literally, my experience, how I went about doing it, and my particular thoughts on this particular matter. Please feel free to, once you're finished watching this video, go into the comments below and let everybody know what you think. And additionally, tag along until the end, because I have a bit of a special activity that we could actually all do at the end of this video. So let's talk about today's question. How do you find writing buddies online and offline? As I mentioned, I get this question all the time, and it's a totally understandable question to get. And my advice is, unfortunately, at least for the first half of this question, super straightforward. First off, how did I find my writing buddies? Now, and this makes me feel old just to say this, but ironically, I met most of my writing buddies in the real world. I actually met most of my writing buddies, Kirin included, as a matter of fact, like my best friend. I met them through creative writing courses in college. So there you go, right now. Ding! You want to meet other writers? Gather where writers gather. That is, if anything, like the biggest and like quickest way to meet other writers. Go where writers gather. It's literally like the same point for like meeting any other like sort of people. Like you who play card games, gather where people who play card games gather, and you are very likely to find those types of people. Now, I hope that doesn't come off as condescending, because I realized once I said it that it sounded a little bit condescending, and I don't mean it like that. Creative writing courses, particularly the ones that I took in college, were awesome because they literally grouped you into like smaller groups with other people, and you had to share feedback. And it was fun because you got to meet a lot of different types of people and get to learn how to do feedback and how to deal with other writers, particularly writers with really hard opinions on particular elements. And I'm telling you this primarily so if you decide to take creative writing courses, you come in with that pinch of salt that I'm about to just throw at you, I guess, now that I think about it. That metaphor falls apart as I speak, but don't worry about it, just tag along. I did the math, because I took a lot of creative writing courses in college, and I mean a lot of them, a lot. And I must have met around 180 writers over my entire time there. 180... at least 180, probably 200, I don't know. But out of all of those, I probably met 3 writers who were worthwhile to me, who were the sort of people who I would be more than willing to spend the rest of my life sharing writing with them. Now, some of you may be thinking, wow, that is terrible. I don't think so. I actually don't think so, because, and if you're young, if you're still in high school, if you're in middle school writing and you're, hoping to one day do those courses, let me just tell you this right now. They're full of people. Creative writing courses in college, much like any other course in college, is full of people. And people are terrible. And it's incredibly unlikely that you will meet people who you click with. And I don't want to... I've been playing Hearthstone recently, so I don't want to boil down to the card game analogy where, you have to open up a pack and you get a bunch of commons, you maybe get a rare here and there, and then you get a legendary. And in my case, a legendary was Kitty, because Kitty's like my best friend now, and she's like the best person to review my work and to give me feedback, because we totally completely just click. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the chance of getting somebody like that out of a pool of 180 seems pretty unlikely, but you can't win if you don't gamble. You can't find a beta reader, you can't find a writing friend if you don't go out and meet people. Now, really quickly, it's a little bit of summary before I go on anywhere with the online part of today's video. As for my personal experience and how I met other writers, I met them mostly through my creative writing courses in college. I didn't meet a lot of people that I clicked with, but the ones that I click with have become like, my friends, my writerly friends, the people that I can depend on, and the people who are a meaningful part of my life. And as I mentioned, it's not easy. Of course it's not easy, and the next part is not going to be easy either, but you can't win if you don't gamble. And I know that I've been saying that a lot, but I really do mean it. If you want to meet people, you have to go out and meet people. And this same value kind of leads us into the next part of the question. How do you meet people online? Now, I have to admit that I feel really old by admitting this, but sharing writing online is something that is a little bit past my time, if that even makes sense. Because by the time that the internet truly took off, I was already out of high school and in college. So it's this sort of thing where in the point of my life where I would have needed to have found writing friends online, I found them in college. Now, of course, just because I didn't exactly have to go through the whole online thing doesn't mean I can't give you advice, because ultimately it's the same values, the same idea. You want to meet people? You want to find other writers online? Go where writers gather. Go to forums, ask around. I know that it sounds not exactly like the answer you want to hear. It doesn't sound like the answer you were looking for, but it's seriously as simple as that. Ask. Make a forum post. Ask on a thread. Go on the tags on Tumblr and find people looking for betas, or ask for betas. The thing is this. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, whether it's the real world or whether it's online, no matter what you do, no one is going to walk up to you and tell you, hey, I want to be your writerly friend. Hey, I want to be your beta. That is not going to happen. Doesn't matter how you want to go about doing this. Whether it is, in the real world or online, you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to ask. You're going to have to put yourself out there. And much like Neil Gaiman said, every time you're going to be asking, you're going to be throwing bottles with messages to the sea. And most of them won't get back to you. Most of them will not. But in time, eventually, a couple will get back to you. And you'll meet people. And you will interact with people. And some of these people won't be the writerly friends you're looking for. But there's a chance. Just a slim chance that out of all these people, you can find some that you're willing to spend the rest of your life writing stories with. And I think that's meaningful. But again, this won't happen if you don't put yourself out there. This won't happen unless you ask. It's actually kind of funny for me because when I first began my writing blog on Tumblr years ago, I never got writing questions. I actually would go on the hashtag writing tag and actually look for people asking for writing advice. And I would reblog their question with my answer. Those who have been following me for ages remember those days. Those dark days when I would just look for questions. I would just be like, who's asking for things? And I'm like, hey, I have an opinion, let me tell you what I think. And then later on things change. People started asking me questions, but you have to put yourself out there either way. Things won't happen on their own. And as much as it would be totally comfortable and easy to just, walk, knock on a door, press a button, and then you get a beta reader, but that's not how it happens. And, you have to remember that your relationship with a writerly buddy or a beta reader, it's a relationship, and you have to treat it the same way. You have to have communication, you have to understand each other, and there's gonna be ups, there's gonna be downs, but that's the way things are, though. Now, I totally acknowledge that this may not have been the answer you were looking for, and I know that when people ask me questions, they're usually looking for an easy way to do things, and that's totally understandable. I mean, after all, I have a lot of experience in this field, and the entire thing that is writing, and I totally understand that people reach to me and go, hey Max, you have a lot of experience, you have probably found an easier way to do things, and for this particular situation, it usually boils down to talking to people. Putting yourself out there and talking to people, because, as I mentioned, there's no way, it's never gonna happen that someone's gonna, knock on your door, enter your house, walk into your room and be like, hello there, I am your writerly buddy, and I am here to give you writing feedback. Although that would be a hilarious idea for a story. Write that down. That's not gonna happen. You have to put yourself out there, you gotta talk to people, and that is basically writing advice that sounds just like life advice. For anything else, you gotta put yourself out there, you gotta put the time, you gotta be proactive and make the first move. Is it terrifying? Of course it is! But you have to do it. Because if you don't do it, then you're never gonna have writing friends, and you're not gonna have writing buddies, and you're gonna miss that entire element of writing, and it's a super meaningful thing, and I don't want you to miss on it. And that is exactly why I have a little bit of a plan. Yes, that's right. Some of you are already going, wait a minute, Max, is this a setup? This is totally a setup. If you are looking for a Rarely buddy, and you've been looking forever, then guess what? Go into the comments of this video and just write a little blurb about yourself. Consider the comments of this video the personal section and just talk about yourself and talk amongst each other and find somebody. Just go out and just talk and find somebody who you can share your writing with. Simple as that. Is that silly? Is it a little bit silly? Is it a little bit crazy? I think so. But if you were looking for a place to talk about writing and about yourself and to get to meet other people, then here you go. Go into the comments below and, talk about yourself a little bit, talk with other people and see what happens. You may not find anybody. You may find the perfect person for you, and that is exactly the sort of gamble that I want you to understand. You have to put yourself out there. Go to forums, go to creative writing courses in college, go to writing meets, go to NaNoWriMo meets, go to the NaNoWriMo forums, anywhere you can. You have to put yourself out there. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying really hard for the past 15 minutes to not say, just do it! But anyhow, it's hilarious because if you're watching this from the future, you have no idea what the hell I'm referencing. Because memes just live and die, literally just flash in the pan. 2 weeks later, memes are completely forgotten. So let's enjoy the fruit of the moment, and in the meantime, I want to thank you for watching. This is really all I have to say about this particular issue. If you have your own point of view, your own particular stand on this issue, and if you would like to meet other writerly friends, please feel free to leave your thoughts and comments, and I guess writing profiles in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I'll be seeing you soon. Just do it!